A day of love and celebration as family watches two lives come together, now shattered when a man shot and killed one man and injured another at a wedding reception. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Krista Babe. 41-year-old Donnie Perleberg was shot and killed while attending a wedding reception at the Eagles Club in New Rockford. A woman was also shot before the shooter surrendered. The Eddy County Sheriff's Office has identified him as 51-year-old David Trotsky of rural Eddy County. Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood joins us after speaking with Donnie's family, who say he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Christine?
Krista, I reached out to several friends and family members and spoke with his close friend, who says that he would have given his shirt off of his back to anyone who needed it. She wasn't at the wedding at the wedding reception in New Rockford when the shooting occurred, but when she found out the news this morning, she tells me his passing is a huge loss to the Jamestown and Pingree community. Family members who were there tell me that Donnie was shot after talking with a woman at the wedding reception. They say Trotsky saw Perleberg and his ex-girlfriend talking. He left and returned with a gun, shot the woman and Perleberg, and then dropped his gun and surrendered. Two of Perleberg's cousins are EMTs, so they attempted to revive him. A celebration of love turned to a tragic loss of a man family described as a hardworking farmer.
So he was always checking up on me and making sure everything was okay. He would do whatever he could for family or friends. He's just a free-spirited, guy that he could just light up a room when he came in. Everybody kind of knew him wherever he went. And my theory is I want him to ride on forever. And his famous words were "woomba," like you're making the sound of a motorcycle.
Two deputies were attending the reception when the shooting occurred and arrested Trotsky. Around 85 to 100 people were at the wedding reception in New Rockford. Police are conducting interviews at this time. Krista?
Thank you, Christine. The woman who was shot was airlifted to a hospital in Bismarck. Her condition is still unknown. Stay with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com as we continue to follow this developing story. You can find the latest on our Facebook page. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the whole day. Flames could be seen shooting into the air from miles away as a natural gas pipeline exploded last night, evacuating some homes. It happened just south of the Canadian border near Pembina at the St. Vincent compressor station around 8:30 p.m. The explosion happened at a back feeder line. Witnesses reported hearing loud rumbling noises several miles away. Fire officials say at least 2 homes were evacuated on the Canadian side. Residents were allowed back into their homes after about an hour. No one was injured, and the rupture is still under investigation. A house is a total loss after 3 people escaped a fire this morning in Shelley, Minnesota. It happened around 9:30 a.m. at 1561 County Road 3. The fire started in the basement. No one was injured in the blaze, and the fire is still under investigation. The Red Cross says 1 person has been displaced but is staying with family. 5 area fire departments responded because water had to be brought in to put out the blaze. We now know the name of a man who died after a rollover in Cavalier County this weekend. 30-year-old Nicholas Miles was driving east on North Dakota Highway 66 from the Callio area to his home in Munich around 7 last night. He went into the ditch and overcorrected, causing his pickup to roll twice. Miles was thrown from the car and died at the scene. 3 people are injured after a crash involving 3 vehicles in Becker County. It happened around noon on Highway 59. The pickup was turning left into a flea market. A second pickup stopped behind it. A car driven by 24-year-old Michelle Metelsky of Thief River Falls then rear-ended that pickup, which hit the pickup in front. Metelsky suffered non-life-threatening injuries. 2 passengers in the second pickup also suffered minor injuries. It's a lucky Labor Day weekend for a lottery player in North Dakota. A Powerball ticket matching Saturday night's drawing is worth $2 million. Make sure to check your tickets. The winning numbers were 10, 16, 18, 29, 45, and Powerball 19. For security purposes, the city in which the ticket was sold will be released at a later time. After a little boy's bike was stolen, a random act of kindness showed up on his family's doorstep. Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood talks with the 6-year-old and his family about how he got a new set of wheels.
I was really sad.
This 6-year-old was devastated after finding out his favorite bike was stolen about 2 weeks ago.
We noticed that it was stolen when he went outside and we couldn't find it. We usually put it just behind our grill so that nobody can see it.
Zephyr Wahlberg's stepmom decided to post a description of the stolen ride, hoping that someone would come forward and return it, knowing she couldn't afford a new one.
I noticed a note written on the window of the mailroom saying that her son's bike was stolen and any information would be helpful. And I don't know, I just felt really bad that somebody would actually steal a kid's bike.
Huff felt prompted to act on his neighbor's needs.
Well, then they started asking like size and then they, like a half hour later, they knocked on our door and had the bike.
I felt really good and I felt excited, happy.
Little did Trisha know that her helping neighbor lived just feet away from where she lives. Trisha's over here and her helping neighbor just right over there with the red truck.
Makes me feel good, you know, and I didn't realize at the time too, it was my neighbors right across the street, but you know, it's just, there you go. It's even that much better. I get to see him ride his bike now every day, so that's my reward right there.
Zephyr's only had his bike for 3 days, so he's still getting his bearings.
Oh, oofta.
But he's already gotten great use out of it each day.
My favorite thing about the bike is about the pegs I have in the front.
For a deed that can be seen in action.
It's not what you do when people are looking what defines you, it's what you do when people aren't looking what defines you.
In Fargo.
Thank you, thanks.
Christine Stanwood, Valley News Live.
Zephyr personally thanked his neighbor Mike by baking him a dozen cookies and writing him a card. He will be able to ride his bike to school on Tuesday.